Systemshire here. Today we're doing a Pinterest build. So every room is a different picture on Pinterest that we found. And then I got this idea from Just Nora Gaming. I'll put hers down below, but she did the same thing, and that's where I saw this, and I was like, I want to try. So I did try it, and as always, I do take a few, maybe a little bit more than I should, liberties in my design choices from the image. But I try my best, okay? So you got a quick view around the house, and then we are just entering the first part. So I actually did a split home, so this is 2 apartments. And then this side is more like cottagey, and then the other side is more modern. So we have a bathroom up here, and then a little tiny hallway with a nice bench area. And then we have one bedroom here, and then we have another bedroom with a balcony. And I actually forgot, but there is another bathroom downstairs. It's just a half bathroom, but it's tucked underneath the stairs. I just forgot to show you guys. On both sides. My bad. And then this is the outdoor area. It's like a shared garden space. Anyway, and then this is the other house. So we're going through the back. So this is through the kitchen. And it's split living and dining and kitchen. And then this is their entryway. And then we go upstairs. It's basically a flipped layout design, so each side should be the same size, but flipped. And then they actually have a nursery instead of a second full bedroom. And then this is the other bedroom. It's very cutesy. Old school, I don't know. I'm re-recording this. I already recorded a voiceover for this, but it got lost somehow, so I had to redo it. Okay? But yeah, we're doing that type of picture. It's okay. It's not my favorite, but I did it. I feel like this was my best one. The exterior of the house, I matched pretty closely to the actual image. Okay, I'll give myself a star for that one. The rest, I did take some liberties. Okay, but as you know, I just take inspiration. Okay, not the full recreation of everything, but I try my best. But yeah, it's basically the shape here, and then I just duplicated it all the way up. And I seen on the very left of the image that there was actually another door to the house, so I was like, oh, maybe it's like a split house where each person owns a side. So that's what I did, and I kept pretty closely to the colors. The only thing I really changed was I added some stone to break up the siding because I thought it was a little too bland. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I actually like the shape. I do. And I like the split vibes. I want to, maybe I can make a more modern house. I don't really like this old style here. But yeah, I like it. Maybe I would like it more if it was modern. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Now we're going to jump back to Pinterest to do, I start with the bathroom for some reason. I don't know. Don't ask me. But I start with the bathroom. It's like a cottagey vibes. But we don't really have the right stuff. We have some of the stuff, but I wish we had more flower wallpaper. We have a lot, I will say. We do have a lot, but it's not quite right. Okay, it's just not quite right. I wish we had just a full, kind of like the one that came with Businesses and Hobbies. There's a full flower wallpaper, but it only has a couple swatches. I want 50 of those in different variations, but we only have a couple of them. I kept it pretty much like the image. I don't think I changed anything too major. They had a separate basin like this, and then a toilet, and then I just did a half bath here, and then I used the same image for the bathroom upstairs as well. So still keeping within the cottagey vibes. And I got pretty lucky. All of the images except for one were pretty cottagey on this side. Like I said, I do tweak the design a little to keep it within the build. Okay? But yeah, they all pretty much went with each other. Only one of the images was more modern for this side. And I did one modern thing, and then the rest were cottagey. I don't know what I was thinking. But it is what it is, because I ain't redoing it. But yeah, this is pretty much it in here. And then I think we go to the kitchen. Yeah, we go back to Pinterest for the kitchen. And I really love this image. I wish we had tiles like that. Like, that's so nice. And I pretty much kept, I think I matched the aesthetic of this, because I just went full cottage vibes. And I used the cottage living pack. So yeah. But I didn't really, I wish we had tiles like that. But I couldn't really find like a good tile to represent what we had in the image. So I just did another flower wallpaper. I think I used the same one that I used in the bathroom. But that was what I went with. And then I used wood paneling in all the rooms. This old, like I said, I'm thinking this side was more old, and then the other side got renovated. Like the owner bought it, and so now they just renovated it. So it's more nice, I guess. So they have like newer floors and some nicer wallpaper. Well, this one's cottagey. I mean, this stuff is still nice. It's just more old school. Oh, I used this cottage living wallpaper with the bunnies on it. See, that's not what was shown in the image at all. But there you go. It's still cute, okay? And then there was like 2 or 3 images in a row that I got that had like 50 plants in the image. So I went back in after all this and added a bunch of plants to every room to match the vibes that I was getting. Yeah, this is pretty much good, I think. And then I just add a couple more decor items. I think it's cute. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite. I don't know. I'm not really liking the vibe. I wish we had more green stuff, because I don't really like this color green, but it's okay for what I needed. Okay? Because, I don't know, the images was kind of like a nice, deeper forest green, and this one's kind of like pastel lime green. I mean, it's an okay color. This is just not right. It's just not it. But this is pretty much it. And then I think we do the living room maybe. Or no, I think we do the entryway. Okay? But yeah. And for the entryway, I do like a custom thing instead of what is shown in the image. Sure. Once again, I do my own thing. Okay? So in the image, they have this like bench with like the little baskets underneath. And that's me. I was actually talking through this. That's why I keep mousing over the images. But I was saying the one next to it would have been so much better, and I was very mad. But sadly, I had to redo it. So, we are doing, like I said, I make a custom bench instead. I don't know why. I just didn't like any of the benches that we had. So, I made a room there. And then I just used 2, like, cushion stools that we had. I think these are from like City Living, and then I just glitched them into the platform. So that's just one platform level up in there, and then I put an archway over it. And then that's how I did that. I don't know, I like it. I thought it was cute. So there you go. And then I put a little shelf above it to match what the picture had. Like, this doesn't look like the picture at all, but it's inspired by the picture, okay? Inspired by. I include some baskets, but we don't really have like empty like wicker baskets that like they had in the image. So I thought that was the best that I was gonna get. Okay. But I just put a bunch of clutter and junk in there. And then I think we go to the living room. Same thing. Clutter, junk, couches. But I think it's cute. And then I also added in those pillows on top of the cushions. So those are just raised up with the 9 key. So a lot of cheating in that room. And I'm not too sure if it's usable. I don't think it would be, but you could try. I forgot to play test this. My bad. But here's the modern living room that I may have not done. Okay? I was going to. Look. I was pulling out modern couches. And then I was like, they're a little too big. Okay, and then I was like, I don't really like these, so I went like full old and rustic, like, what are these, dressers? but I still keep within what they had in the picture. They had 2 dressers like this. One is the console table, and then one is just an extra dresser over there. And they were white. Theirs was just more new. Mine are just rustic, okay? And they had a bunch of plants. See? This is matching, right? But I'll refresh your memory of what the image looked like. But yeah, I think I did pretty good. This totally matches the image, okay? I have the 2 things, and then the only thing I forgot about is the dog that was in the corner. That's it. I will say. That's the only thing. But they also had like this white wood paneling in the back, but theirs was obviously more modern. So, you know what? I just changed my mind. I just took my wood paneling that I used in the kitchen and just put it in here. Okay? I just did that, okay? So it's more rustic instead of the modern vibes it was supposed to be. But it's still cute. Like, the couch is modern, that one. And then I used I love that chair. The one with the little sheet over it. I used that. That's so not modern. But then they had like 50 plants on either side of the TV. They had like hanging ones on the left and then like a bunch in the corner, so I did that. So I'm doing pretty dang good, I think. Okay, and then this is just adding to the entryway. I do my own thing, so I put a little desk in the corner for like a communal computer, and then that's pretty much it. That's all that's in here. And then we go upstairs to do the bedrooms and I don't know if I showed you the other bathroom, because I don't know. I don't usually show you more than one bathroom. But yeah. And then we do the rest. Okay? So I just like to clutter it up. I put a bunch of plants, and then I really try to... I want more like hanging ones that attach to the wall. I found that there wasn't a lot of options. And I want more hanging ones from the ceiling as well. But I just tried to like make it look very green. Like I use plants in my build, but I don't use this many plants in my build. Okay? Not this many. But it's still a vibe, okay? I just wouldn't want to water all these. Like I said, if you caught in any of my previous videos, I'm kind of a plant killer. So this house wouldn't work for me. But anyway, we're going to Pinterest again, and we're onto the bedroom now. So, it's still cottagey. Like, I kept getting this. I must have influenced Pinterest somehow. So it's all like cottagey. And I only do one image, and then I just base both the rooms off of that one image. So, I do use a couple of modern items, and then, I don't know, I did this bed. The bed in the image had like a more wireframe. We do have one like that. I use it in the other room. But for this room, I went with like this greenery, because the one they had in the image was very green and nice. So I did like that in here. Okay? But yeah, this is pretty much it already. This shape was very odd. It was like an L shape, but also slanted. So there wasn't a lot of space to work with. I squeezed in a little dresser and then a little sitting... I can't remember. I think I put a chair, a little sitting area, and then a bookcase, and then I shoved in a bunch of plants right by that bedside table. So, like I said, I forgot to play test this. That was my bad, okay? I truly remember thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna play test this, and then completely forgot. Okay? I had to do my homework or something, and I jumped off. But yeah, a bunch of plants and stuff like that. And then the other room is just another bedroom. And you know what I forgot? There's not a lot of... Usually I put like 20 skill building items in my builds, but there's not a lot in these. There's only... Let me think. There's only the painting, and then the plants. There's only painting and then gardening on this side of the house. And then even on the other side of the house, in the other apartment, there's only a chess table, I think. So there's not a lot to do here. So you have to do your own thing. Okay? Oh, and I guess writing, because you can do the computer and programming. So you know what? There you go. There's 2 more. And I still don't know what the exact vibes or characters I'm going for. Obviously, because the reason I did a veggie garden is because I got the image off of Pinterest. Okay? I was like, fine, I'll do a whole veggie garden. Theirs was more lush and more filled and whatnot. I was like, okay, I'll do it, I guess. But, so, I guess the Sims will be like gardeners. One of them at least. I don't have to fill up the rooms. But I could, I don't know, 2 and 2? Or like 3 and 2? And I'm thinking maybe just like 2 roommates on this side, maybe, and then like a family on the other side. So potentially a mom and a dad and then a kid. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm feeling yet. But we're done with this side of the house, okay? And we're back onto the modern side. So I actually got the same images, so I went to the second row using the first image. So I just went with this like diamond one with the flower wallpaper. And I forgot to open it for you guys. I'm so sorry. I don't know where that image is at anymore. I forgot to grab it. But I will say I pretty much match it, I think. I did pretty good on this one. Isn't this like so close to the image? They had like the little diamond flooring and then the little flower wallpaper. I was pretty proud of that. Okay, I do switch up like the seating that they had because I didn't really want to do like a wood one because I didn't think it really matched. So I did like a little cushiony one, I guess you could say. And then I did the shelf above and then just some random other stuff. I think I put the chess table in this room for some reason. Because the way, since it's like a flip-flopped house, this layout feels a little bigger. I don't know why. It just feels bigger. This entryway feels bigger and then the kitchen space feels bigger. But it's the same size. I don't know. So I had more, I was like, oh, I could put this here. I don't know. It just felt bigger. But yeah, this is pretty much done. I think, I don't really know if I like this. I just went with the vibe of the image and then I just went from there. Okay? I don't know if I like this. And there's not, I was looking for, because I was thinking this is with more like a coat rack, you know? But we don't really have one with just like coats. I wish there was like one with like 2 coats on it that I could hang up on here, or even like one that we could put on the wall. We have a couple things like that, but they're not specifically just like outdoor stuff, you know what I mean? Some of them have like weird horse stuff on them, stuff like that. We have a couple. And then that's pretty much it that's in here. I just put another like little console table for like my fake little entrance where the Sims will drop their keys that I always do. That's it. And then I think we just jump over to the kitchen. But we can take a look at all the quick decor I did. I just like to shove as many items as I can. And then I put a couple of like the kid decor items around as well. But yeah, that's it. And then we go over here. And we do the kitchen, I think. Maybe. Oh no, we did the bathroom. I'm lying to you guys. We did the bathroom. My bad. So it's like this cute little modern bathroom with like the basin, the separated basin on top. Does anybody know what those are called? I don't know what those are called. They have like the raised sink. I don't know. But I really like those types of sinks. I think they're really cute. So we actually do have a couple of those. I went with this one because it had like the wood and then the white on top. So it was the closest to the image, I think. And then, oh, if you just realized, I don't think I mentioned it in the other side. But since this bathroom is so small and tight, I actually cut into underneath the stairs on both sides. And then I put up a half wall so you couldn't see inside technically. I just used like the highest height that I could of a half wall. But that does cause like a little bit of like a glitch when the 2 walls connect. And I couldn't, well, I could fit a post in there, a column, but it just looks too big for the space to have one. So I just deleted them. So I think it's a cute little space, you know? And then I think I prefer this. I prefer the modern side better. It's definitely more cutesy. I don't know, in my opinion. I don't know. I don't know. It's just cutesy. So yeah, we're almost done with this because it's just a tiny, teeny tiny bathroom. Yeah, they had the shelves above, and then they had like stuff on the back of the toilet. So I tried my best. So I think I did pretty good on these types of rooms. I kept to the images. The only rooms I really struggled on was the living rooms for some reason. I really didn't like the living rooms like that. Okay? I just did my own thing. I even put like the little things here. But don't mind, I did resize those bounds for the flame. It's technically a little separate. Okay? So yeah, we got the same images again, so I go down the row and do the first one. So it's more of like a white based kitchen. I don't know. It's still cute, but it's a little plain. And we actually, at least I didn't find one. I could have been missing it. I didn't find a like kitchen with like the reverse of the white base and then the wood on top. So I just did this one that had the wood base and then the white on top. And I actually forgot to hit record when I did the kitchen, so we're pretty much done already. My bad. Okay, it's my bad. And then I just put some white tile on the back, like the image. So it's very modern and cute. And I don't know why, but I really wanted to use the bear rug, so I did. That was not in any of the images that I seen, but I used it just for me. I really wanted to use it, so I did. I feel like it fit with the vibe of the next room over because they had like the funky tiles and then the funky wallpaper. So I tried my best. But it's very, I don't know, cozy. Because there's only, yeah, it's very cozy. That's what I'm going to say. So let's take a look at the image on Pinterest. It was more mismatchy. Okay? And it gave me like this weird like old style living room that doesn't really match anything. So I did like, I took the mismatchiness of the image, okay? And that's all I took. I did use a couple of like the older chairs, and then I used a more modern couch instead. See, I do try in the beginning. I'm like, I like this couch more though. So I used that one. And then I used two of like the old timey chairs that we have. I mean, that's not too old, but I use that type of chairs. And I do include some of the yellow that they had in the image. Okay, I try my best. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. And then I use clutter, a bunch of clutter to fill up the space. And of course, plants, and then a little baby basket. That was a nice touch. Yeah, then we go, I think, upstairs to the bedroom or the hallway, potentially. I don't know, I can't remember. I think it was the hallway. Let's take a look. So I got the same one again, so I use the second one. It's pretty cute. Like I said, it has a bunch of plants in them, and then they have like these wicker baskets everywhere. And then right here, I'm talking about the lamp, the ceiling lamp. Is that what? I don't know. I can't speak. The light. I don't know. The ceiling light. There you go. We actually have some that are similar to that. So I just use those in every room. Those like baskety ceiling types. It's not the exact same thing, but it's pretty similar, I think. And then I try to use a bunch of like the wicker and then the wood stuff that we have. And then obviously a bunch of plants. I think this hallway is pretty cute, I will say. I like the hallway. And then I was pretty proud of myself. The rug, that's like a perfect match to the image. Like that rug is perfect. But yeah, we're already done. That's it. Plants, a chair, and then the console. And then we back to Pinterest. And we either do the bedroom or the nursery. Okay? So we got We got like more cottagey, a cottagey bed. I don't think I went with one like this. My bad. I think I went more modern instead. But I do keep some flowers on the bed. I went more modern. My bad. I am heavily inspired by the images, okay? Not to replicate them. But anyway, that's there's not much in this room. Like I said, these are weird shapes, so I didn't really force anything inside the rooms. I just kind of kept it pretty simple, because I didn't really have like a specific person in mind. I only put the tea set there because there was one in the image. Sure, there was one thing I did right. There was a tea set on the bedside table with some flowers. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then I put a desk in here, so they have their own desk. And I don't know why, but I didn't want to put it towards the window because I felt like that was like cramped for some reason. The like straight side window, so I put it here, and then I made like a little room here, and then I raised the platform up a level or two and put some plants back there. Don't ask me why, I just did it. Okay. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have, and then some decor on the walls. And I wasn't vibing this time. I didn't use any curtains except for in like one doorway. So no curtains. Okay, no privacy. This is very open building here. And then lastly, I think it might be I like the room. I think the nursery is my favorite. That's what we're doing last, I think, because I forget to show you the other balcony, because this side does also have a balcony, but I forgot to film it. My bad. But yeah, we're already done. We got like a cute little modern yellow nursery with a bunch of like tapestry and wicker again. So I'm really lucky. Most of the images really went well with each other. Okay. I have to really challenge myself next time to really keep to the image and the vibe. So if anything like mismatches, it really shows, because some of the images weren't as close to what I did. Sure. But I made them work, okay? I made them work. So I did a crib and a bassinet. I don't know. You can have twins. You can have one toddler. I don't know. You can have an infant. Whatever floats your boat. I use the flower wallpaper. It's cutesy. So I'm guessing. I guess this is more like a girly room because I use the flower wallpaper. Absolutely. It could also be a boy's room. It's the mother's will. Okay, she wanted the flowers in here. And then we're already done. I cut to this. I just put a bunch of clutter in here and then toys. So, I don't know. It's very cozy, like I said. I like the side. And I tried to size this up and fit it in the crib, but it clipped into the bed. So sad. I just think that's a nice touch whenever you put like stuff on top of the beds, but it didn't work with that particular one, so I gave up. But I like the like added little, what would you call it? The little drapes. What are they? Like the you know what I mean, but I don't know what they're called for some reason. Right now it's escaping my mind. With those like little curtain drapes around like the little bed. It's so cute. But yeah, we're pretty much done in here. Very cutesy, very, very calm. And then that's it for that. And then we do the garden. And then we're done with the whole house. Okay? So I do the front garden and the back garden. This is the back garden. We got like a little veggie thing. I was talking my head off and complaining when I got this veggie garden. But it's fine. I did it. Okay? And then we got this like weird... This is like more of like a beach house vibes. I don't know. There's like a wildflower garden path going up to the walkways. And they had like a picket fence, but I didn't do a picket fence, okay? I just did the flower paths. Okay? But yeah. That's pretty much all we did out here. And I did, for like the garden in the back, if you didn't know, you can pull I've been doing it in all my videos, but you can pull from the gallery if you look for something specific. So I just looked up plants, veggie plants in the gallery, and I got some fully grown plants already in the back for you guys. But I didn't fill it all the way up, so you have some room to put your own stuff. I didn't look at exactly what I put in there, but I just put some random plants, and then I put a couple like trees, like a lemon tree and then an apple tree, I think. We have a couple things going on back there to make it more lush, okay? So yeah, this, I went with like a more like manicured, I don't know, space. And then I just put my regular, like, whatever you would call this, greeny stuff with the white flowers in them. I use that every time. So it's more like manicured and neat, okay? And then these like pathway pieces, this is just from the debug menu. I got them off the gallery. So, and then I just line them with the wildflowers. And then that was pretty much all they had in the image there. So I had my own thing. My sneaky little own thing there with the side bushes to make it like more structured. I feel like this house is well taken care of and they take pride in the garden. So that's what I did. And I was thinking about putting some like topiary bushes, but I felt like it was too much. Okay, and that's pretty much it. I do remember I put the mailboxes on the, I put them up there if you can see them by the door. So I do have mailboxes, and then we have like 2-3 bins out there, so you know where he's there. I put a couple like random plants in that area as well, just to fill it up a little because I felt like it was really empty. So we're in the back. I just fill it with a bunch of planter boxes, and then yeah, and I do like the bushes all the way around to keep it like structured to give them a semblance of privacy because they're not very tall, and then you can get out that way as well. But I don't think I was gonna use like a little what would you call that? The greenhouse thingy, but I didn't really like it. It was in the way. So yeah. So I gave you quite a bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I gave you like 10 or so planter boxes. And then obviously you can also just plant them in the ground as well. But yeah. So this is like more of a structured place for you to plant everything. And then you can obviously put stuff in the ground, like I said. And I thought that I was going to split it up and have like 2 separate spaces for the apartments. But I felt like they are like best friends. So they didn't need to separate it, and they could just live harmoniously, okay? They're the type of neighbors to bring each other flour. Okay? But yeah, we're pretty much done. And then I just add a couple more plants around the place, just to give it a nice feel. Okay, and then I do some terrain painting for like a pathway, and then I put like dirt in between like all the planters. Like, you know, so it's like more like worn, I guess. I don't know. Does that make sense? Like it's got more trampled on by footsteps and whatnot. That was the thinking. Okay? And then I do fill these up with plants and then a couple more like trees around and stuff. So yeah, that's it guys. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you had a nice time. If you guys have any like thoughts or suggestions, just drop them down below and I'll try to do something that you suggest. So thank you to everyone who's been subscribing. See you guys next time.